watching this video, it's probably because you probably don't like the sounds of cats running around or babies screaming, but it's Nitro, and you probably love it. Mugen Psyche has been around since 1990. They formed in 1982, but now they have a new kit, and they have this, Adam Drake. Mugen has won its share of titles, national titles, regional titles. Every title you can probably imagine they've won something. But they don't focus on big-name drivers. Sure, Adam's a huge name, but we're not taking anything away from him. But they focus on you and me. And that means the car is fast for the average racer, and we're average racers. We're okay with that. So we sat down and tested this truck with Adam Drake to see how fast it makes us. This is the MBX7TR. It's a good chassis. Actually, Mugen's one of the top 2 chassis ever. Anytime you race, you can pick up this chassis and you'll have one of the best cars on the market, period. There's some changes to this, subtle changes. They moved the kingpin angle, so it has a little bit more mid-steering in the corners, and basically it looks the same, and that's a good thing. There's some other upgrades. First of all, they put 16mm shocks on it, finally. Actually, we were confused that the truck never really had the big bore shocks, but this is the first kit to get them. What that means? Consistent. You can race all an hour main and not have the shocks overheat, which basically changes the handling, gets the ride height higher, all that kind of fun stuff. The keen eye may pick up that the chassis has a little bit more bend to it, so that bend adds rigidity. That means it's stiffer. That means the suspension has to work right. That's why the shocks are there. I made the joke earlier that the R version means race. We think it means refinement, because there's small refinement changes to this chassis to help it go faster. It was already a great truggy. You can't even argue that it's not one of the best truggies out there. When you have a chassis this good, it's that refinement that makes it one of the best. A servo saver spring. While many of you think of it or even understand how much that affects the steering, Mugen thought of it, they changed it, it's stiffer. That means it steers better, it holds the line more. Another R, or refinement part of this chassis, are the drive axles from the center diff out. Most don't think of them, hey, we don't care how they connect. They now use universals. That means through the choppy stuff, the power transfer is more smooth, and the car handles better. It's little things like this, the details, that are the difference from 10th in the A to 1st in the A. Hey, we'll take 3rd in the A. We're not that greedy. If you just fast forward through all my babble, sentences that don't make sense, the rambling. This is the end. This is one of the best truggies you can buy for the average racer. It's easy to drive, it's fast, material quality is high. You can't lose with it, unless you lose with it. So, you can't blame the truck. Go out and buy it. Be fast as you can. Be happy in the B-Main. We are.
Any questions? Well, the only question I have is, are you race inspired? Are you inspired? Do you even care? Or does it even register to you what is winning, what is proven by winning, what the pros like Adam, Battle, Cavallari, Elliott Boots, Ty Tessman, Mayfield, all the top dogs out there. These are the top dogs, over the last, I don't know how many years. This year, again, same guys, same platforms. Tekno, Mugen, Kyosho, X-Ray, and Associated. Actually, I think Associated might have took the points this year. I forgot the guy's name. But if you don't know, I'll inform or, clue you in. Associated, all they did is copy Mugen. That's where they got the pillow balls, and anybody that runs pillow balls copied them from Mugen. Mugen came up with the pillow balls before anybody did. And, hey, some of the best ideas and anything, not just in Nitro, are stolen from somebody else. So anyway, I don't know. I don't race that much anymore, simply the fact because Point 21 does about as much for me as I'm sure you've heard John Bodegel say stock motors do nothing for him anymore. He's into mods, which I'm getting into now. And I feel the same way about Point 21s. Point 21s do about as much for me as stock motors do for John. Okay? Not much. That's why I run them now. I mean, I've got a couple of the top. The OS I really like. I mean, it is a Point 21. Nowhere in the same category as an LRP Point 32 or my Novorossi 28.8, you know, and these are both stock. I have modified, not this modified because I haven't decided yet, but I mean, I probably will, more than likely. I just don't know how much money I got to put into this thing, and that's what I'm going to try to figure out during the break-in process. Is the carburetor shitty, or is it that bad, or is it the problems? I just ran a tank, my 6th tank. I'm going to go run number 7. I'll let you guys check that out real quick. I don't want to bore you too much with any more break-in. I'm sure you guys just want to see this thing just get busy, and so do I. Break-in, even though it's necessary, you need to take your time and be patient. It's very important. I can't emphasize this enough. The break-in will determine, depending on how quickly or you know, if you take your time and break it in nice and slow, like you've seen John do, you know, I do that. And all I did was take what I learned from him, what I learned from Ty Tessman, his father, Gordy Tessman, and what I learned from Adam Drake. Those 3 guys, you can't lose with them. I took the combination of what they do and used it to what I do and how I break it in. And they all pretty much say the same thing. Be patient. This is going to determine how easy your motor will be to tune, how long it'll last, and how it'll perform. Those 3 things, that's it. And that's all 3 things that matter. Is it easy to tune? Is it going to last a long time? Wear and tear? And is it going to perform? Okay? That's why you need to take your time, and that's why I take my time. I'm in no hurry. You know, I'm on tank number 7. This will be number 7. I told you I'm going to run 10. I'm not going to show you guys all 10. I'll maybe show you guys one coming up in a minute. And, you know, or trail it behind this video. But anyway, I'm race inspired. The reason I got the Mugen MBX 7 TR Truggy is because that video I seen by Velocity Magazine, which is, you know, a highly respected magazine that covers a lot of nitro and everything, a year ago. And I still, when I watch it, man, it gets me fired up, man. And you see Adam running his Mugen, man, with his OS, you know, he's got a .21 in there. So, I mean, but the point is, the guy explained to you why Mugen is tops, why it performs. And you don't need to even go by what he says or what I say. Why don't you check the standings in IFMAR and ROAR and all that and professional racing? Mugen's, I mean, out of the top 10, there's two guys in there. Usually Adam and I think it's Mayfield. I think he's the other one that races, or Battle, one of them. Maybe can't remember. But anyway, Mugen, Techno, X-Ray, Kyosho, you know, and Hot Bodies, and you know, now, like I said, Associated. Those are the top platforms in Truggy and Buggy the last few years. You know, and in this video, I'm doing this because, you know, I got some, not any flack, but I knew guys were going to respond. There's a lot of Losi lovers, and I'm not respecting the Losi guys. John is the biggest Losi guy that I know, and he made a comment on the last video I did, and he even said, yeah, Horizon is a big reason that Losi kind of fell off the map, you know, and Adam got pushed out because of Horizon. That's why I would never own a Losi. I love their products. Somebody said, well, you got Losi products, you know, so does that mean that I need to get a Losi platform? No. I just think Losi makes a lot of good products, and I use them, you know. My favorite Losi spark plug wrench, I've showed you guys before. I love that wrench, you know. That right there, I could have got any other one. That's for to tighten up your flywheel. That was 20-something bucks for this little, you know, it's a badass little piece of 70-75 anodized aluminum, but still, there's plenty out there. Huddy makes one half that price, that is just as good. I like Losi's tools, man. I have a few of them. You know, I have their, you know, here's their, you know, right next to all my Losi oils, Losi clip shoe remover. Now, these do break, so you got to be careful. Don't put a lot on them. Be very careful, because it's plastic. And I could have just said, you know what, screw it. But every time, this is like my 3rd one, and whenever they do break, and they do every once in a while, they don't last forever, I call Losi, and they ship me another one the next day, no questions asked, okay? Customer service is, you know, next to A-Main, one of the best out there. So, and that's important to me. I'm paying all kinds of money. My shit better be here when you say it's going to be here, or we have a huge issue, okay? So, you know, that's just me. I'm very anal about shipping and shit, and, you know, maybe I need to do another video of what I deal with and how you avoid all the shipping bullshit that you're going to go through. of getting your stuff online, because as you guys know, in Nitro, you don't get shit in your hobby, at least not in our hobby shops. John, I can't emphasize enough, Mr. Bodegel, he is so blessed, man. Ray over there at Track Day Hobbies, man, I wish we had one of those over here. I would live there. So literally camp out, okay? Because that shop is badass, because it has all the Nitro and Pisco stuff you can possibly need. All we have out here is A-Main, but A-Main does good. And I love A-Main. I love their product, which is, their product is ProTech. I own, and I'm continuing to buy nothing but ProTech Life batteries. Not Lipos, Life. Dynamite had a good one, but hey, Horizon discontinued that too. Oh, well, people like Lipo. It's a little, it's actually more power, because Life battery is a little bit less. Although Lipos do catch shit on fire and burn up people's houses and burn up people's $1,000, buggies and truggies and whatever. It just doesn't sell. The Life doesn't sell as much, so fuck it. We'll risk the Lipos and continue to sell them. And we'll discontinue the Life batteries, which were good, by the way. If you do find them, I know John loves them. They're good. But I found ProTechs are really good too. So I buy low ProTech. All my rides have ProTech Life batteries in them. Okay, 1600, 1800 milliamps, 6.6, 2S, you're fine to run your shit. So that's what I'm running. So anyway, we got another tank in here. We're going for tank number 7. Now it's time to give it half throttle. Now you will listen when you hear when I upload. I do kind of see what they're talking about the carb. This carb wants to run on when you let off it. What I did is I've taken this apart. The problem with the LRP X-Tech carbs, if you want to run them, you need to take them out completely, take the slider out, because whoever did the burring on this thing needs to be fired. I've done deburring and worked in fabricating for many years, and the carburetor slide is not smooth. And that's where you get it's hard, it gives you problems tuning. Matter of fact, you need to take I don't recommend this to anybody. If you know what you're doing, you're at that level, take the idle screws out, take all the carburetor components pretty much completely apart, go over them with a wire wheel, deburr them, because there's a lot of burring on them, and that's what's causing the carburetor not to idle right, to jump around, to run on when you let off on it. The slide is just not smooth. If you want, instead of spending $100, which I'm going to see how that works out, if it does make a big difference, I'm sure it will, take your carburetor apart if you know what you're doing. If you're a newbie, disregard what I said. You shouldn't even have this motor, because you're not ready yet. This motor takes a lot of work, and I'm just talking about the carb. Most people just take it off and mill it, get a Novorossi, spend $100 on a Novorossi, and then have to mill a millimeter off of it, and then put it back on, and you're good. And then you can either mod it or not. But I'm going to see if you don't have to spend the money. Like I said, the reason I do videos, I don't care, thumbs up, thumbs down, like me, dislike me, unsubscribe, unsubscribe, I could care less. I don't give a shit. I do this for the new guy. I'm trying to help the newbies, trying to keep Nitro alive. Nitro has done better this year, but it's still not where it should be. And a lot of it is because people quit. Companies like Horizon discontinue shit and discourage people that are getting into it. Companies like Traxxas keep coming out with bullshit that people buy and get frustrated and think, well, that's Nitro, Mr. Muggy Maniac. I got a Traxxas, whatever, and, blah, blah, blah. First of all, you need to get rid of your Traxxas. Throw that shit away, because that shit's no bueno. It's just going to piss you off if you're new to Nitro, and you're going to get a bad taste in your mouth, and when you could have just maybe spent another $100 more, if that, and got yourself a Kyosho, RTR, or a Losi, and you'll be good to go. Or I would even recommend get a Losi kit, because Losi kits are the cheapest race kits out there. They're cheaper than any kit. Okay, I think the Kyoshos don't have a kit and that's why people like Losis. One of the reasons, because their kits are cheap. If you want to get a race kit and build it, it's the cheapest of anything. I've looked all around, trust me. Losi has the cheapest kit to build. And they probably are cheaper now that they have the 8X. And by the way, that 8X, for you guys that have the Losis, FYI, and if you don't know, it is not even the same platform. It has nothing on it that's even similar there to a Losi 8 4.0, which means that the 8 4.0s, even if they're great vehicles, great bashers, a lot of my Nitro buddies have them, they're just not at the level I'm at. They're not at where I want to be. You know, I mean, they're nice Lexuses. They're decent. Okay, but I'm going for Ferrari and Lamborghini, which is Kyosho, X-Ray, Mugen, Techno. Those are the creme de la creme. And I'm not just saying that because I own a Techno or I'm going to be owning a Mugen. Facts. Do your homework. You can go by Race Facts, which if you're race inspired, you probably, I would think you would. Those are all the platforms that are winning. Losi's not doing anything anymore for the simple fact that Horizon is calling shots and they're more worried about developing that new X so they can sell a ton of them when they release them and not have any problems, instead of focusing on, you know, the hobbyists like us that wants to see these guys win and see a Losi be in the winning circle and see these guys compete with all the other big dogs out there, you know, because that's what gets me fired up. You know what I'm saying? If my Techno was a dud and nobody ever won anything with it and nobody said anything good, well, you know, I mean, if it wasn't race inspired at all, I would have probably bought one. Same thing with the Mugen. I mean, the Mugen, all you had to do is tell me Adam Draker's running it, and he told me that shit's badass, and he loves it, and he even says it's way better than Losi ever was. I'm good. I'm there, man. Adam's the fucking Dale Earnhardt of RC, you know, of Nitro or electric. He is the face of Nitro to me until he retires, and he always will be. Now, there's a lot of young bucks up and newcomers. Ty Testament, I love that guy. Youngster, man, just spanking that ass. He reminds me of Brian Kinwall back in the days, for those of you that know who Brian Kinwall is. Him and Adam kind of grew up in racing together. But anyway, I'm not going to be a history nut and tell you all kinds of history, and I walked 10 miles in the snow to school, blah, 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 blah. All I'm saying is, if you want to get to the next level, if you want to get above and beyond, if you want the top shit, you got to look beyond Losi. Losis are popular, but I'm not looking to win a popularity contest just because everybody else has. As a matter of fact, that's the one reason I won't ever get a Losi, because everybody has one. I want something that somebody else doesn't have, and it's winning. And it's proven that it's winning, and it's in the winning circle. And the big dogs, I want to run what the big dogs are running. So that's why I got a Mugen and a Techno. And I might get an X-Ray and a Kyosho to kind of round out the top shit that there is. And I'm putting top motors, top Italian, you know, a couple rice burners here and there, but I'm going for Italian. Only Italians that I know are Nova Rossi, Pico, Reds, and Works. Unless I'm missing something, those are all Italian-made motors. So that's just my preference. That's what I prefer. I prefer, you know, not to drive a Toyota or a Lexus. I prefer to drive a Ferrari or BMW if I can afford it. And I work enough overtime, so that's where all my money's been going. Anyway, we got shit coming. I also got this. I'll show you real quick. Next video after this, I don't know if I'll fit it in with this, will be me doing some brapping, break-in, and some running. I'm going to run it later today after I finish up breaking in. This is the carbon fiber for my... It just came today. Pretty cool, huh? It looks fucking real, man. This is going to go on my Mugen. My Mugen is going to have a carbon fiber finish on the bottom. Nice, badass wrap. I mean, look at that. That shit looks real. It's like real carbon fiber. I mean, it's a wrap, but it feels like carbon fiber, too. Who knows? Maybe it is a carbon fiber, thinnest carbon fiber sheet in the world. Anyway, that's what's going on. That's the Monkey Maniac. I don't hate or not like Losis, or I'm saying Losis aren't no good. They're just not at the level that I'm going, okay? You know, even John even said when he commented on my last video, all they are is a 3.0 with a couple of little changes. That's it. Still a 3.0. They haven't really changed it until now. The X, the new one, the buggy, only things that's they kept were the front diff, rear diff, and the center. Everything else they threw away and said, you know what, let's start from scratch, because obviously we're not competing with everybody else. So Losis are good for me. I recommend Losi to new guys. New guys getting into it, beginners, you know, newbies crossing over from electric into nitro. Get a Losi, man. That's a good platform. You know, easy to get to build, easy to maintain, basic. You know, doesn't have anything real technical like a Techno or a Mugen. And you know, that's a great first try. I mean, if I was back, if I had to do it over again, I mean, even though I was happy learning on the XTM, you know, which I wouldn't, it could never compete racing, not even close. This thing, oh hell yeah, this thing would smash anything. And I know how to drive, so, and so my MBX 7 that I have coming. So I mean, you know, Losi, Kyosho, great RTR kits, great inexpensive race kits, good stuff, good quality, just not my level, that's all. That's all I'm saying. You know, to each his own. It works for you. You're comfortable with, you know, that, then that's fine. I'm going for broke, man. Go big or go home. That's my motto, okay? So that's the Muggy Maniac. The Nitro Cave's got shit happening. I gotta go back outside, finish my break-in, upload some more videos to you guys later, let you see what the, you know, LRP, what it's doing in the stock form, okay? Peace out.